Moving on to solving equations. Now, this is probably my most commonly used application of the algebra package within my CAS. It's actually a pretty easy one too, and very, very handy. So I'm going to start with a clean slate, blank screen. In previous videos, we used the expand function. This time we're going to use something called the solve function. So I'm going to choose my menu button and again, either press number 3 for algebra, number 1 for solve, or scroll down to number 3, then across to number 1 for solve. Solve will pop up on your screen with an open bracket. What we're trying to do in this is find what the pronumeral is worth. So I'll be given an equation. For example, first one here is 2x minus 6 equals 14. I then need to find what the value of x is worth. So I'll pop in my equation, 2x minus 6 equals 14, and I need to find the value of x. So I then pop in a comma, very, very, very bottom left, and I want to find what the value of x is, and I close the bracket. So solve, open bracket, 2 times x minus 6 equals 14, comma x, close bracket. I already know that the value of x is 10 because I figured it out by hand. It took me a couple of minutes, but I found the answer. Just verifying with the calculator now. Lo and behold, x equals 10. Sometimes it's going to be quicker to do this by hand. Other times you may want to just use the CAS to verify that what you've got is right. Completely up to you. So, next example, menu, algebra, solve. My next equation is x over 3 plus 2 equals 7. A little bit trickier, would take a couple of more minutes because it is a fraction. All right, so I can either do x divided by 3, but that might start to confuse myself, so I'm going to do it as a fraction. Press my little box over here next to the book and choose my fraction. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. My fraction here. Pop on x there, press the down button to move to the bottom of the fraction, put in my 3 and move across. So the cursor is now off the fraction. My equation again was x over 3 plus 2, so put in my plus 2, and that was equal to 7 in easy. But I need to solve for x, so we pop in my comma, pop x, close the bracket, and enter. It solved the equation for me, finding that x equals 15. Our third one, now we are doing 4. I'm just going to type in SOLVE and open a bracket. Now, because I'm sitting at a laptop, it's actually really quick for me to type in the word solve, which is why I've shown you the step-by-step way, plus that you can use the keypad down the bottom, so that when I do freak you out in the next example, by just typing and having random letters come up, you'll understand why. So our third example is 2a minus 5 is equal to a plus 7. Again, we're still solving for a. We don't have to be solving for x every time. So, let's get rid of delete button there. 2 times a, forgot my times in there. Subtract 5 is equal to a plus 7. Again, my comma and a. So that means I'm solving for a. And close my bracket. Done. Now, again, it didn't have to be x, it's just any pronumeral. And in this case, a is equal to 12. So you plug it back into the equation, you'll see 2 times 12 is 24. Take away 5 gives you 19. So the left-hand side equals 19. On the right-hand side, you've got a plus 7. So 12 plus 7 gives you 19. Both sides are equal. We found our value of a to be 12. And our final equation popped in the word solve, popped a bracket in there. My mouse hasn't moved yet. And our final equation is x squared minus 13 all over 18 equals 2. So back to my fraction button in here, press my fraction button, and I can type in x squared. Now my cursor's large, it's not up here with indices, it's actually next to the x, minus 13. Then I press my down button, type in 18 and my cross button, and that takes me back beside the fraction, and that is equal to 2. Now we're solving for x again, so pop in my comma, pop in x, close my bracket and hit enter. Now in this case, x can equal -7 or +7. It depends on the scenario. So if you're talking in distance or you're talking in weight, you can't have negative numbers. But if you're just talking in general, solve for x, it can be negative or it can be positive, because remember, -7 times -7 gives us 49, and 7 times 7 gives us 49. So at the end of the day, either of the answers are correct, but it is based on your scenario. My next video, I'll be moving on to rearranging formulas. Thanks.